for my people. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. For my people, this for my people. Yeah, this for my people, this for my people. This for my people, yeah, this for my people. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck.
We do it like that and we do it like this. We do it like that and we do it like this. Yeah.
Swing low, Lord, get me out this plantation. I ain't on the block no more, no grams weighing. I don't even bed no hoes, my ribs stay in. Try to keep them humble and never run in the streets. My kids speaking Hebrew, so you know that I teach. It's hard, gotta hold on, trying to keep up the peace. I'm waiting on your son to return and cut off the beast. Till then, I'ma be in war mode and face east. I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I take it. That's why I don't sell dimes no more, and I don't blaze it. Satan still want me back, he gotta face it. Smoke don't touch these lungs, I'm feeling strong again. Lost a couple LBs, even started to jog again. I get suited up now, and I ain't talking about cardigans. Boots laced up in gear, ready for battle. The enemy is listening, Lord, but I ain't rattled. You made a nigga feel it, some niggas scared of their shadow. I'm seeing lost niggas in these groups on the tube. You could've put me with them, guess that's mercy from you. You put me front of Jenna, you're hiding, and I can't lose. He took a drug dealer that probably should make the news and turned him to a prophet. My family is still confused. It seems they like the old me best. Sorry to say, I ain't gotta drop a old me left. So I pray that the slave master see death every day. I hear the bell toll and hope I'm the one chosen. And when that chariot swing low, Lord, let me roll in.
We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahushua. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on. Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? What you know about sacrifice? Nothing, they bluffing. These niggas perpetrators, man, to God, the shit is disgusting. I put my time in, while they ain't even applying. Through all the pain, hate, confusion, and the lying, I stay grinding with the heart of a lion. The strong through the storm till I found that silver lining. Without no pressure, there's no diamonds. I walk straight into the furnace of affliction for refining. Came a long way to stash your bills when I heard the sirens getting higher. Hold up, moment of silence. Just a moment, y'all. Yeah. Cause that man is dead and deceased. Gained knowledge, found peace, shook the mark of the beast. Only fear God and not another man who bleeds. And if you roll with me, you already know my speed. I come through, give a death, they holler, what up, priest? Then I quit the chop a Christian with ease. Then I go and put the sword back in his sheath. I got one life to live, so I'm playing for keeps. So I be dropping shit like the towers. All my haters sour, you ain't no cowards. Niggas swear they hard, but acting like they only flower. You old bitch ass nigga, I'll fuck your ass up. Hold up, let me regain my composure. I keep the time to the beat of a composer. The end is near and I can feel it getting closer. Praying to the Lord that the angels be my chauffeur. We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahushua. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die, but please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on. Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot?
Yeah, and get out this hell, cause I done been through there and back. Let's declare the facts, cracking setting stays and tracks. Revenue be impressing, I ain't prepared to crack. My current state of living depressing, my hair I'm tearing that. I fight alone in my home, but I ain't sharing that. Most of these people ain't prepared for that. Shit. I met these UPK brothers and I was hearing that. They said, you know, they Christ struggle too. And I'm like, where is that? Digging the scriptures and they show what he was hearing that. Voice when he's up top the mountain, I'm unaware of that. Between the rocks and the bread, I'm highly aware of that. But then he tried to get Christ to jump. Shit, I be scared of that. The shit I'm stressing through infinitesimal with comparing that. Put on my gator strap. This was best to do. Cause that's what pressure do. And they bring the blessing through the truth who we bring. So by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, go to war for my king.
We're doing this for Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die. But please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die. But please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on, come on.
All right, give it up, clap it up. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shemshkata. Yahweh Shemar Alataba Hashem Yahweh Shah. This is the Israelite School UPK. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. And today, we're back at it again with the Sabbath service. This is Officer Lahab. We'll go ahead and get started. Go ahead, brother. Present yourself.
Baaz, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashal,
Baaz, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashala.
Yahweh Shadar Shabrakta,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatah. I think I'm getting better at this, Baaz. All right. Go ahead and help me pick the scroll. You got it? Go ahead. We're going to start out with the Lord's Prayer in the English. In the Hebrew. I'll do it. Just follow along. All right. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Let's go on this way. Let's back up some more. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malachutka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Maharataza. Kawam. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathan Lanawa. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalat Lanawa. Kawawath Nawa. Kasalat Nawa. Salakia. Kawawathia Nawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya'ah Nawa. Banasaya 1. Abal. Hawashah Nawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwat. Waha'ala. Wahatapara. La Walamyam. Amen. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right, the prayer for the power In the Hebrew, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kashar, Lathan Lanawa, Hakat, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Manawa, Hakat, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakat, Lahakim, Hamathium, Hakat, Arakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Bahashim, Yahushai, Tawara Aman in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. I pray for the blessing. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Alahayim. That's a like it. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabiyah. Alawab Yahana. Hakwatas Ayanyim. Salakia. Ha-alawapim. Ha-saranyim. Hakwatas Ayanyim. Hakayoyoyim. Wahamwathium. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Tawara Aman. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, Commanding General Yahana, Salaki, and the angels, Salaki, Commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. All right, Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahariah, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Waharataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Yashamar, of the Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wamawa'aka, Mayathar, what I will love. In English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out, and thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. All right. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Adamayalaka, Adakarash, Wa'atashakwat, Kayahana, Awayadyaka, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, A'imaka, Yawayamba, Sawada, Wayatha, Ya'aitazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amara, Lakawa, Wanakakida, Magalia, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'al, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Bariyah, Yakarathwa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wayama1, Wayamalak, Palashah, Amyashabia, Taza War, Gam Asha War, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Sarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salam, Ashalaham, Kamadium, Kasayam, Sara'am, Kayabium, Banakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayanda Ram, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayathamwa, Nadam, Yamawam, Kayaram, Wakazabah, Wakatazal, Manai, Kaunasa Yakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarashah, Lanawa, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahayam, Shayathamwa, Kagagalam, Kakwash, Lapanya Rawaka, Ka'ash, Tabaya Yaira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Thawadatma, Basa Irika, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabalaham, Mala'am, Panyaham, Kualawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ayai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadayawa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labatka, Ayawan, Al-Kaharataza. In the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, and hold not thy peace, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumble, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha may be no more in remembrance. For they had consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarim, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red and like Zeed. Yea, all their princes as Sabbath and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Put that down, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead and I got you. Huh? Are you hot? You go ahead and turn it off. Or just, you should have just turned it up a little. I mean, now you good, too out. What we need to do is break down some of this, these big chunks of, anyway, all right. Better.
La Yashal.
La Yashala. Stop.
Yashal, which means to be seated.
All right. Go ahead and last time we left off, I think, was the book of Numbers. Let me see that book, that green one. We left in verse 7 on Numbers chapter 3. So take it from Numbers chapter 3, 7 verses.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Come. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, and verse 7. Washamar Rawa. Washamar Rawa.
Washamawa. You got it?
Mashamar Thawa. Ya'ath. Wa'ath. Mashamar Rath. Kal. Haida. Haida. Lapanya. Ahal. Mawa'ai. La'abad. Abadath. Hamashikan. Verse 8. Washim Marwa. Kal. Kalya. Ahal. Mawa'ai. Wa'ath.
Right.
Mashamarath.
Right.
Bunya. Yasha'ala. La'abad. Abadath. Hamashikan. Verse 9. Wanatha. Halawayam. La'a haram. Wala bunyawa. Natha Nathau
Good one.
Nathau that's the same word, right? It's a lot. Nathau
Nathalnum, yep.
Hama Loa Ma'af Bunyan Yasha'ala. Verse 10. Wa'ath Aharon Wa'ath Bunyawa Thapa Quad Washimarawa Ath Kahanatham Wahazar Hakwarab
Right.
Yawamath. Verse 11. Waya Debar Yahweh.
Where'd you stop on verse?
Started at 7.
No, where'd you stop? Where did you stop on the other verse? What was the last word?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Yawamath.
Let me see.
Yawamath.
That was the last
word in verse 10.
Okay, I got you. Yawamath, right?
Yawamath.
Okay, more time. I got it over here.
Well,
And what was 11?
okay. 11 is this the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 11. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Mashah, La'amar, verse 12. Verse 12. Wa'anya, Hana, La Quaktaya,
La Quafia, yeah. You got it?
Halawayam, Matawak, Bunyan, Yasha'ala, Takath, Kal, Bakawar, Patar, Rakam, Mabunya, Yasha'ala, Wahayawa, Wahayawa, Laya, Halawayam, verse 13. Kaya,
Right.
Laya, Kal, Bakawar, Bayawam, Hakathaya, Hakafia, Kal, Bakawar, Ba'aratiza, Matazarian, Hakwadash Thaya, Akadashafya, Laya, Kal, Bakawar, Baya Shala, Ma'adam, Ai, Bahama, Laya, Yahayawa, Anya, Yahweh.
Right. I'll pick it up from verse. Pick it up from.
This is the book of Numbers.
Matter of fact, look, read all the way down to 21 in Hebrew, and then we'll pick it up to two, the whole two verses.
20, right?
21, right?
Start at 14. 20.
Okay, 20.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 14 in the Hebrew. Why at the bar?
No, did you read 14?
No, I started at 13.
Are you supposed to read 14?
No. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 14. Why at the bar? Yahweh, Al, Mashah, Bama Debar, Sayanya, La'amar, verse 15. Paquad, Av, Banya, Lawaya, Lawya. That's Lawya, right? Lawya. Labayath, Abatham, Lamashipaktham, Kal, Zakar, Maban, Kadash, Wama Ailah, Zapakdum. Verse 16. Waya Paquad, Atham, Mashah, Al, Payah, Yahweh, Ka'ashar, Tazawah, verse 13, verse 17, Salaki. Waya Hayah, Waya Hawa, Salaki. Waya Hayah, Waya Hayawa. Waya Hayawa.
Why you hire one?
Allah, Bunya, Loya, Bashamatham, Garash, one,
Rush one, yep.
Wakwahath, Lamaraya,
Wakwahath.
Wamar, Raya.
Wamaraya.
Wamaria. Verse 18. Wa Allah, Shamawath, Banya, Garash one, Lama Shapatham, Labanya, Washamaya. Verse 19. Wabanya, Kwahath, Lama Shapatham, I'm Maram, Waya Tazahar, Kabarwan,
Or Isaiah.
Verse
20.
20. Wabanya, Maraya, Lama Shapaktham, Makauya,
Macau,
Wamawashya, Allah, Ham,
Haman. Yeah, Haman.
Hama, Mashapakat,
Mashapakat, yeah.
Halawaya, Halawya, Labayath, Abatha.
Okay, pick it up in English.
And in the English, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 7. And they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation to do the service of the tabernacle.
Right.
Verse 8. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation and the charge of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. Verse 9. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel.
So the Levites are the ones in charge of the priesthood duties. They are in charge of the counseling of the nation of Israel. They were in charge of solving any legal or any issues pertaining to the law. They were the ones that they weren't called the judges because that came at a different time in Israel, but they were pretty much the judges, or they were pretty much the ones that knew the law and kept the law. They're the ones that you had to go to. Like everybody didn't have a scroll in their house. Everyone didn't have a scroll, so we had to present ourselves in the tabernacle. We had to go get the instruction from Aaron and his children, the Levites, and every Levite priest. They're the ones that, like I said, we didn't have a Bible. Like now, in today's time, and really in the Israelite school UPK is where we really study the law of this Bible and how to be, how to be brotherly, how to live really. But that's really what a priest did. They took care of the charge of the tabernacle, where the holy things were, where the where the covenant of the testimony was, where things that it wasn't church, and it wasn't like a religious thing. It was just where, okay, I need to go. I think I did something wrong. Let me go talk to the priest about it. Let me confess what I think. And the priest would say, and that's where the Catholic Church gets their kind of ideology about do this and the priest. But it wasn't like a confession. You just had to go, as the Lord saw us, and you knew the law because it was always proclaimed throughout the land. It was just like going to see the court system, right? But it was just done in a certain structure, and that's what the Levite priests were in charge of. Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, and verse 10. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
And if you were not of the Levite lineage, you couldn't do no priest work. Like, you couldn't do that. I believe the stranger meaning in this context. Let's read another verse.
Verse 11. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, verse 12, and I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel.
So in this context, the stranger is even the nation of Israel, even the Israelite is a stranger if he's not a Levite priest when it comes to things dealing of the priesthood. Well, in this time, in this era, because now after Christ died, when Christ came and he changed the priesthood, he changed the order. He was a priest after the order of Melchizedek, and now because of him, every man in the nation of Israel has a charge of being a priest. Now we all can be priests, all the way down to Yashakar, the Zebulun, the Levi, the 12 tribes of Israel. Every man is a priest and a king. That's what the scripture says. I raise up a nation of priests. I'm paraphrasing, of priests, kings and priests to the Lord. Now we can do. Now we know the law. Now we can learn the law. Now because of Christ, we took that. We're a priesthood after that order now. No longer the priests, the Levites, when they had the law, when they were the ones in charge of it. Things just didn't. It didn't work out like that. So Christ is the way. So now we do that priesthood. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore the Levites shall be mine. Verse 13. Because all the firstborn are mine.
Right.
For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine shall they be.
Right.
I am the Most High.
And am I mistaken? Was Levi the firstborn? Lie was Reuben. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna check on that, but go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 14. And the Most High spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, verse 15, number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers by their families, every male from a month old and upward shalt thou number them. Verse 16, and Moses numbered them according to the word of the Most High, as he was commanded. Verse 17.
So Moses is the only one that numbered Levi. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And these were the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon and Kohath and Merari. Verse 18. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their families, Libni and Shemaiah.
All right.
Verse 19. And the sons of Kohath by their families, Amram and Izahar, Hebron and Uziel. Verse 20. And the sons of Merari by their families, Mali and Mushai. These are the families of the Levites according to the house of their fathers.
So and that's basically what the book of Numbers is. The book of Numbers is about the Lord numbering or letting, right here in the scripture is describing the lineage after the house of their fathers. Just like we read before in the beginning, the soldiers that were able to fight were numbered after the house of their father. It was starting from Judah all the way down to Yashakar. But Levi, they didn't get numbered to go to war. They got numbered to serve the priest, to do the priesthood duties. The Most High said that the Levite priest was his inheritance. So Moses numbered them for that purpose, and then named the families of the priesthood. I'm gonna pick it up from verse 20, 21. Okay, all the way to what, 27? Okay. The book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 20. Salakia, verse 21. All right. Lagarashwan Mashapatham, no, Mashapatha, Mashapakatha, Mashapatha, Salakia, Mashapakath, Halabanya, Wamashapakath, Hashamaiah, Allah, Hama, Mashapakath, Hagarashanya, verse 22. Pakwad Yaham, Bamasapar, Ka, Sakar, Mabanal, I think that's Maban. Kadash, Wama'ila, Pakwad Yaham, Shaba'ith, Alapium, Wakamash, Ma'awath, verse 23. Mashapakath, Hagarashanya, Akaraya, Hamashakan, Yahanwa, Yama, Salaki, verse 24. Wanashaya, Wanashia, Bayath, Abba, Lagarashanya, Alayasap, Ban, La'ala, verse 24. Wamashab Marath, Banya, Garayawam, Baha'al, Mawa'ai, Hamashakan, Waha'ahan, Salakia, Waha'ahal, Makasahawa, Wamasak, Pathak, Ahal, Ma'aid, Wakwala'iwa, Hakatazar, Wa'ath, Masak, Pathak, Hakatazar, Ashar, Al, Hamashakan, Wa'al, Hamazabak, Sabayab, Wa'ath, Mayathar, Yawa, Lakal, Ibadathwa, verse 27. Walakwahath, Mashapakath, Ha'ai Maya, Wamashapakath, Salakia, Wamashapakath, Hayataza Haraya, Salakia, Hayam, Hayatazaharia, Wamashap, Wamashapap, Wamashapakath, Hakabaranya, Wamashapakath, Ha'aizayaal, Salakia, Ha'aiza, Ya'alaya, Ha'aiza, Alaya, Allah, Hama, Mashapakath, Hakwahathia, Salakia, Hakwahathia. 28, verse 28. I'm going to go all the way down to what? 30, 34. Bamasapar, Ka, Sabara, Zabar, Maban, Kadash, Wama'ila, Shamath, Alapayam, Washasha, Ma'awath, Shamaraya, Mashamarath, Hakwadash, verse 29. Mashapakath, Banya, Kwahath, Yakanwa, Al, Yarab, Hamashakan, Thayamana, verse 30. One Shaya'ah, one Nashia, Bayath, Abba, Lamashapakath, Hakwahath, Al, Yatazapan, Al Yatasapan. Okay. Ban, Isaiah, verse 31. Wamashamaratham, Ha'aran, Wahashalakan, Wahamanra, Wahamazabakta, Wahamazabakath, Wakauya, Hakwadash, Ashar, Yasharathawa, Bahamazap, Wakal, Ibadathwa, verse 32. One Shaya, Nayashawa, Halawaya, Alaizar, Ban, Aharan, Hakahan, Pakwadath, Shamaraya, Mashaparath, Hakadash, verse 33. Lamararya, Mashapakath, Hamakalia, Wamashapakath, Hamawashia, Allah, Hama, Mashapakath, Mararia, verse 34. Wapakwada Yaham, Bamasapar, Ka, Sakar, Maban, Kadash, Wama'ala, Shashath, Alapium, Wama'athyam. That's the end of verse 34. Pick it up in English, my book of Shah.
Come. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 21. Of Gershon was the family of the Libnites, and the family of the Shemites. These are the families of the Gershonites.
Right.
Verse 22. Those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males, from a month old and upward, even those that were numbered of them were 7,500. 23. The families of the Gershonites shall pitch behind the tabernacle westward. Verse 24. And the chief of the house of the fathers of the Gershonites shall be Eliasaph, the son of Lael. Verse 25. And the charge of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation shall be the tabernacle, and the tent, the covering thereof, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 26. And the hangings of the court, and the curtains for the door of the court, which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and the cords of it for all the service thereof. Verse 27.
And then within the priesthood, there was also certain charges too. Like everybody didn't do certain things. There was like some priests were just in charge of decorating the place. Boaz, go ahead.
Verse 27. And of Kohath was the family of the Amramites, and the family of the Izaharites, and the family of the Hebronites, and the family of the Uzzielites.
Uzziel, I like that name. Uzziel. Go ahead.
These are the families of the Kohathites.
Uzziel. Okay, that's my son's next name right now. Uzziel. I like that.
Good.
I'm gonna find out how you say that in it. Well, I'm gonna find out it's right here in the Hebrew.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 28. And the number of all the males from a month old and upward were 8,600, keeping the charge of the sanctuary. Verse 29. The families of the sons of Kohath shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle southward. Verse 30. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Kohathites shall be Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. Verse 31. And their charge shall be the ark, and the table, and the candlestick, and the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary, wherewith they minister, and the hanging, and all the service thereof. Verse 32. And Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, shall be chief over the chief of the Levites, and have the oversight of them that keep the charge of the sanctuary.
So, like I said, like every priest, different families had different charges. Some families like the scriptures naming them who was in charge of decorating the tabernacle, and eventually the temple, and then who was in charge of the vessels and all of that, and then Eleazar, the son of who?
Aaron.
The son of Aaron, he was in charge of everything. He was the chief of the chief. He was the boss of the bosses. So it's always been rank and order. And that's the only way you really govern anything or anyone. And that's how the earth is supposed to be. And that's how the oppressor tries to rule, but he doesn't know how to be brotherly. He doesn't even know how to be a brother to himself. So that's why he has wars, and there's no peace on earth. But in our kingdom, and you can see it right here in the Israelite school UPK, we're learning how to govern ourselves in such a way where even though it's structure, even though it's rank and order, brotherhood is always first. Brotherhood is always first, because brotherhood will eliminate any big-headedness, any bigotry, any injustice. So what the oppressor doesn't have is brotherhood. And of course, these are priests knowing the law. They knew it says love your brother as you love yourself. So they knew, even though every different person, every tribe had the army was the tribes, and they had their rank and order. The priests had their charge, and they had their rank and order. But it was unity, it was brotherhood. And Aaron, Eleazar, the son of Aaron, was the chief of everything. Go ahead.
Verse 33. Of Merari was the family of the Mahlites, and the family of the Mushites. These are the families of Merari. Verse 34. And those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, were 6,200.
So it was a bunch of priesthoods too. It was a bunch of priests. Go ahead, read out all the way down to 41. No, just do English now.
And this is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 35. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle northward.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36. And under the custody and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the boards of the tabernacle,
mm-hmm.
and the bars thereof,
Mm-hmm.
and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and all the vessels thereof, and all that serveth thereto. Verse 37. And the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords. Verse 38. But those that encamp before the tabernacle toward the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation eastward, shall be Moses, and Aaron and his sons, keeping the charge of the sanctuary for the charge of the children of Israel. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 39. All that were numbered of the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered at the commandment of the Most High throughout their families. All the males from a month old and upward were 20 and 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 40.
And you was born into this priesthood. Like, if you was a Levite, that was your duty. Like, you know how, that was going to be your life. If you was born of any Levite, you automatically, going to be a priest. And like, where do you think the rest, like, the oppressor, when he came to Americas, he found the so-called Mayans and the Aztecs, and they practiced certain rituals that were priestly. And nowhere else in the Bible is really the only priest of the priest of the Lord. And their tradition was you had to be born into the priesthood. So what I'm getting, even though they were the Issacharites were not priests, these are traditions that kind of came down through our nation. And of course we got scattered, and of course we went into captivity, and of course we did wicked things, but they just had certain things like the conquistadors say, man, these are like similar to the tribes of like with the Bible names. Like it seems like they might, Christopher Columbus knew he found one of the, some of the tribes of Israel in the so-called Americas, because that's what he used. He used the Bible. He he read in the Bible where there was tribes that were missing. On this, they were lost. The lost tribes in Israel. Nobody could find where they were. So he knew they got to be somewhere. So he read in Second Esdras where the Lord took him somewhere else. So he in his mind he's like, okay, being a devil, I'm gonna go find where they at, and I'm gonna enslave them. Because you gotta understand that these oppressors that are highly educated in their wisdom, right? The sons of Esau, like they have a secret knowledge too. They knew who their enemies are, and they knew how to conquer those people, and they knew that these people were going to serve them because once they knew they didn't have their power with them. What would the scripture say? Even the Bible knows. I mean, the devil knows the scripture. Go ahead. You want to say anything?
No.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 40. And the Most High said unto Moses, number all the firstborn of the males of the children of Israel from a month old and upward, and take the number of their names. Verse 41. And thou shalt take the Levites for me. I am the Most High, instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Israel.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 42. And Moses numbered, as the Most High commanded him, all the firstborn among the children of Israel. 43. And all the firstborn males by the number of names, from a month old and upward, of those that were numbered of them, were 22,203 score and 13. 44. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, 45. Take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Most High. Verse 46. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 203 score and 13 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than the Levites. Verse 47. Thou shalt even take 5 shekels apiece by the pole. After the shekel of the sanctuary shalt thou take them. The shekel is 20 gerahs.
I gotta find out how much money that is. Go ahead.
Verse 48. And thou shalt give the money wherewith the odd number of them is to be redeemed unto Aaron and to his sons.
So, like, I guess they got paid for this. I'm gonna find what that's talking about. But what I'm saying is, if you was a Levite, you was gonna do this work. And once again, the Levites were in charge of the law. They were supposed to teach Israel how to keep the law. Once again, when the Lord turned, when we turn our back on the Lord, eventually the Lord turned his back on us. No longer it was none of the tribes anymore. The Lord just said, forget it, forget all of Israel. Ain't no more Levite priest to me. Ain't no more anything to me. Christ came back. He died. He did the ultimate sacrifice. Died for the sins of the nation of Israel, not the whole entire world, not the entire earth. I mean, but the nation of Israel. That's who he came for, to save, to redeem. So that once again, now it's a different priesthood. Now every male of the 12 tribes of Israel can be a priest. Go ahead.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 49. And Moses took the redemption money of them that were over and above them that were redeemed by the Levites. Verse 50. Of the firstborn of the children of Israel took he the money, 1,303 score and 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Verse 51. And Moses gave the money of them that were redeemed unto Aaron and to his sons, according to the word of the Most High, as the Most High commanded Moses.
I'm going to get clarity on these, but I believe it was like they went over and there was more numbers. Somebody got redeemed or let go from the. What did you get out of this? These were the the ones that didn't make the cut, or I'm gonna get clarity on this scripture. Let me see. He took the firstborn for a month old and upward of those that were numbered them. Take the Levites instead of all the children of cattle. I am the Lord, okay, which are more than Levites. And 13 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than Levites, thou shalt even take 5 shekels. I'm gonna get a clarity on that. Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 1.
Hold on. Go ahead, keep reading. Hold on. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, come. All right, Shalom. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 2, take the sum of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, after their families by the house of their fathers. Verse 3, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, all that enter into the host to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 4.
Stop at verse 4.
This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation about the most holy things.
Okay. All right. With that, I mind you. What's today's date? It's getting good, huh? Stop. No sweat. Men of Israel, gird thy loins.
Men of Israel,
Gird thy
gird thy
loins.
loins and prepare to salute the Torah.
You got it?
Okay.
Yah Ba'ashim Yahshua Baraka Yah.
Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Baraka Yah.
All right. All right, give me 1 second. All right. Well, Panyako done. Let me just turn around and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malach was Ka. Taba'ah. Salakia. Malach was Ka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baharataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathalanawa. Lakam. Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawath Yanawa, Walaam, Kabayaan Nawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashah Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahatapara, La Walamium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right. Praying for the power. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Baba Kashar, Nathulanawa, Hakat, La Rapa'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Manawa, Hakat, La Tahar, Hamatazirayim, Hakat, La Hakim, Hamathium, Hakat, Arakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Bahashim, Yahushai, Tawana Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. I pray for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matasib Ya'ah. Alawat Yahana. Ha'alawapim. Hasaranyim. Hakwatazayanyim. Hakayoyoyim. Wahawathim. Yahweh. Bahashim. Yahushua. Tawana Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the officers, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. In the English, Psalms 121 in the English, in the Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahariam, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Waharatazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tasa'athka, Wabawa'aka, Wayatham, Wa'aidai Walam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. In Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim, Adama Yalaka,
Adama Yalaka,
Ata Karash,
Alta Karash,
Wa Ata Shakwa,
Alta Sikwat,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayadyaka,
Yabika,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Amaka, Salaka Amaka,
Amaka,
Yawayamwa,
Yabiyam,
Sawada,
Sawadah,
Wayathai, Salaka Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya Aitazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
Altazapawanyaka,
Altazapuwanyaka,
Amara,
Amara,
Lakawa,
Kawa,
Wanakakira,
Kaki,
Magalia,
God,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shamyasha'ala,
Shamyasha'ala,
Aiwada,
Aiwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa,
Wa'itazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakad,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Bariya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarath,
Ahalya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashamai,
Wayashimai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'ab,
Wahagarian,
Hagari,
Gabal,
Ball,
Wayamawan,
Wayamawan,
Wayamalak,
Wayamalak,
Palashaf,
Alashah,
Amyashabia,
Amishab,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Gamashu,
Nalawa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarawai,
Arawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Abanyalawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadim,
Madi,
Kasaya,
Kasiyah,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabiam,
Yabi,
Barakah,
Barakah,
Hoyashwan,
Yashua,
Nashamadwa,
Shamad,
Bayanda Ara,
Yandara,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
Adama,
Shayathamwa,
Shayatama,
Nada,
Nada,
Ya,
Yab,
Mawa,
Awa,
Kayarab,
Kairab,
Wakazabah,
Kazabah,
Wakazabak,
Kazabah,
Wakatazal,
Katazal,
Manai,
Mana'ai,
Kalnasa Yakambo,
Kalnasa Yakum,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amara,
Amar,
Mayarashah,
Ayarashah,
Lanawa,
Nanawa,
Ah, Na'awa,
Nawa,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
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 Shayathamwa,
Shayatama,
Kagagala, Kakwash,
Kwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rawaka,
Rawaka,
Kaash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaya Ira Yaira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalahaba,
Salahat,
Kalahat,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradama,
Daradab,
Basairaka,
Zairaka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Paska,
Tabalaham,
Kabalaham,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Palawam,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashma,
Wayabakwash,
Shamkar,
Shamkar,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashma,
Bash,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahaw,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wayakapawa,
Kapar,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabad,
Wayadayawa,
Wayadawa,
Kayatha,
Kayazah,
Shamkar,
Shamkar,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Badka,
Ayawan,
Ayuwan,
Akaharataza.
Alkaharat,
In English, keep not thy silence,
keep not that silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Hold not thy peace,
hold not that peace,
and be not still,
be not still,
O Yahweh.
Yahweh,
For lo,
for lo,
thy enemies make a tumble,
thy enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
they that hate thee,
have lifted up their head.
lifted up the head,
They have taken crafty
they
counsel
take crafty
against
counsel
thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted against
consulted against
thy hidden
thy
ones.
hidden ones.
They have
They have
said,
said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a
in
nation,
the nation.
that the name of Yasha'Allah
Maybe Yashala,
may be no more remembrance.
no more remembrance.
For they had consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
one consent.
They are confederate against
They are
thee,
confederate against
the tabernacles of Edom,
tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites, and Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarene,
Gebal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines, with the inhabitants of
the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur is also joined with them.
Also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They
Lot.
are hoping the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
Jabin,
and the brook Kisan,
Kisan,
which perished in Endor.
perished in Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
Became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make them know
like Oreb
like a red,
and like Zeeb.
like a
Yea, all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zebah and as Amunah, who
who
said,
said,
Let us take to ourselves
take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh
the houses of Yahweh
in possession.
possession.
All my
All
power,
my power,
make them like a wheel,
like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth they wood,
fire burns the wood,
and as the flame
and as the flame
setteth the mountains on fire.
the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute
So
them
persecute
with thy tempest,
thy temper,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
thy storm,
Fill their faces with shame,
fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
they may seek
O
thy name.
Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let it be
let
confounded
it be confounded
and troubled forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let it be put to
let
shame
it be put to shame
and perish,
perish,
that men may
that
know
men may know
that thou,
thou,
whose name alone
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High.
art the Most
over all the earth.
All
All right. With that. Conclude the Sabbath service. We'll get it right one day. All right. All right. All right. Saul.
Sorry. And the Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. May the Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Majim Tah, class dismissed.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Yahweh Shemar Latah Shem Yahshua. Tune in, Monday through Fridays, class at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Sabbath service 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. a.m. With that, stay safe. Be careful with that winter storm coming up. Get prepared. We'll see you next time. Shalom.